And welcome back to Fireside Chat with Grand Design RV for part 2, Jeff.
Part 2
of
the Campoholics Anonymous session that we're having here.
That's right.
I think
back
we're all,
again.
deep down, we're all Campoholics, aren't we? Well, we've got Mike and Missy here in the studio, if you can call it a studio. I mean, it's just a room.
It's lovely.
Well, thank you.
Lovely.
It's a small office.
You know, we've considered having an actual fire here for the Fireside Chat, but I don't think the building crew
that might be
would...
a way of getting a new studio.
You're right. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Tom, that's an idea.
Yeah,
that's an idea.
Yeah.
So we talked last time about your journey, if as you were, and it went from going from a 3,000 square foot home to a 400-ish square foot momentum fifth wheel, and we talked about that. And now let's talk about what it is you do with that fifth wheel and what you do. And so you were saying before that you've had some adventures, and I can imagine because I don't know, you guys probably don't know this. I full-time for 6 months in a motorhome at one point, and I had quite a few adventures in 6 months. You've been doing this a lot longer, and going to all these rallies and doing things. What are some things you can tell us? And start from the beginning. Let's talk about the first trip. The first like big trip, not like State Park in Delaware. Let's talk about the cross country. Like, what did you do? Where'd you go?
Well, our first year of doing this, our first trip, we booked Key West. So that was the target. So our schedule was based upon bucket list items.
Okay.
So people say, how do you know where you want to go? Well, bucket list items. So the buoy down in Key West was a bucket list. So we oriented the first trip towards that goal to get there. One of the stops was at Pinellas County State Park,
Fort
DeSoto. Yes,
that was after.
Yeah, that was after Key West, the Key West experience. So we're coming off a high. We're kind of in a relaxed mode. We booked this Fort DeSoto State County Park in Pinellas County near Tampa. I thought I had booked the biggest site based upon a picture map of the campground.
Are you saying picture or picture? Picture?
Yeah.
Okay, picture.
Pick.
All right, just
picture
checking.
Of the campground map, yes. So when we pulled into the campground, there was a sign that says danger low-lying limbs. I'm like, oh my goodness, we're 13.5 3/4. Let's get the smart car out because this is before I discovered Google Earth and how to use Google Earth. And we also discovered to use walkie-talkies when backing up. So before it was hand signals, and of course you can't see with my hands, but if you've been to one of the rallies and heard our talk, you know what these hand signals are. Missy was giving me a stop sign and a backup sign at the same time, which to me was confusing.
Just a little bit.
Yes. So we discovered that we needed walkie-talkies during that trip, and we also discovered that I need to use Google Earth to plot my campsites. Get an overall shot of the campsite that I'm looking at before booking it.
Because this one was
nothing but the width of the RV, and it was full of trees.
Yeah, it was like a little cutout. I don't know. It was almost afterthought site, almost.
So
is this between like oak trees, palm trees?
All
like,
the above, yes. Oak and palm.
Yeah.
All the above.
Got the Spanish moss hanging down, all the things.
Beautiful,
okay.
very like jungle-esque.
Right.
Jungly, you kind of go in and the limbs are literally low-lying and it's almost damp in there. Like it's very, anybody who's been to Fort DeSoto will know exactly, but it's a lot of cover, like
canopy.
Canopy. That's the word I was trying to think of. Yeah.
Hammock trees.
It's hammock trees. So it's very cool temperature-wise, but not very conducive to a still very newbie RVer with a very large rig, full body paint. So you don't want anything touching anything near it.
So it took us about 45 minutes to get back to that.
Yeah,
so
that was
we went from there to Bainbridge, Georgia to the Corps Engineer Park. East Bank Corps Engineer Park. And our first night there, again, another lesson about Google Earth and knowing where you're going. Our first night there, we spend the night there. The next morning, a guy comes up, knocks on the door, campground guy, campground worker, host, whatever, says, holds up a mugshot. He says, if you see this guy walking around the campground,
call 911.
Call 911, don't approach him.
Oh, man.
Little did we know that campground is situated between a state mental hospital and a state prison.
Yeah.
on both sides of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I had been out the night before just walking the dog at night. And if anybody's been in a Corps of Engineer park, there's no lighting. It's very dark because it's not. That's just usually because they're on some kind of waterway or water course.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been out that night. So lots of little lessons learned. Live to tell the story.
Wow.
Lots of adventures. That's where we learned about mayflies. Was that where we had? Yeah, we learned about mayflies. Like, never knew there were so many different types of insects until we started camping. You know, you live in Delaware your entire life. You have flies and mosquitoes. I mean, some of these critters that we've come across, we're like, what do we kill them? Do we not kill them? Do they sting? Do they bite? I mean, are they poisonous? Like, it's been having to learn to do a little bit more research into the area that we're going has been something. We're definitely not fly by the seat of your pants kind of people.
Yes, the rig is too big to do.
The rig is too large, and I'm still a little bit, like I said earlier in the first session, not a tent camper, and that's a little too much nature for me at sometimes. You know, I like the creature comforts of home, but I still enjoy, sitting outside, looking at the stars and the campfire, those things that you don't get. But yeah, we like to have a little bit more preparation now. We had a few adventures.
A lot of lessons learned.
Times when you were like, I don't know that we're cut out for this. I mean, that's the other thing. Because,
see, that's
If
fascinating.
you want to go full-time RV and it's not designed to save a marriage.
No.
I do not recommend to do it to save your marriage.
Well,
Gotcha.
you have to know what you're getting yourself into, especially with our rig. And we say that, we preface that with, because we have a 43-foot rig. It is not just whip it into a small campground and as most of anybody's going to tell you, that these older campgrounds, these Corps of Engineers, these state parks, were not in the early 80s and 90s. Rigs were not 43 foot long, and that's a short toy hauler compared to some of these now. We were talking earlier today, some of them are 45, 46, 47, 48 feet long. You're longer than a tractor trailer when you're all hooked up. So
yeah, it's crazy. So, I mean, you mentioned, because of all the perils out there, right? And all the planning. And I always found, like, the hardest part for me, because it was actually after I was full-time, like, I got back into a house and, like, finding a place to keep this. I had a 38-foot, so it's not as bad, but just, like, having to go from Walmart parking lot to Walmart parking lot to Cracker Barrel to all the different things. And with all of that, and then all of the mayflies and all the other things, you said something earlier that, why would anyone want to do that? So, you're painting a very realistic picture, which I appreciate, but why would anyone want to do that?
Because this country is beautiful.
It
is amazing. I especially when we went out west, I could not believe the majestic of the scenery, the mountains, the
Mother Nature.
Yeah. Utah was Utah's my favorite state.
It is me.
It is absolutely a beautiful state. I constantly look up at those mountains and see all the colors in the mountains and the spheres and the spires or whatever you want to call them. It's so majestic. And my brain is trying to figure out, how did that happen? When we were in Utah and Moab, I made it a point to do hikes. I got on all trails and I found the top 7 hikes. So I did 5 of the top 7 in Moab around arches, and so majestic, so beautiful. So those things, if we stayed back in Delaware, just working 9 to 5, I would never experience that.
No.
Yeah.
And that's what makes RVing so wonderful. And plus the people that you meet, the RV life and the RV people are so kind, so generous. It's such a camaraderie in the RV community. And that's another thing. Coming from a law enforcement background, where you see the worst in people all the time, you go to the RV life and, oh my goodness, what a change.
Yeah.
What a flip change.
Yeah.
So
see the best.
You see the best in people.
That's fantastic. Now, is there anywhere that you haven't got? Like, what's the status of the bucket list right now?
I think we gave up on the bucket list.
Oh, wow.
we have a rally list.
No, not really. Not give up in a negative way.
No, we didn't give it up. I mean, Tombstone was a bucket list item, so I checked that off last year. Tombstone.
I think when we first started, we thought that we would be, I don't think we knew, like, the process of breaking up and setting down and travel days. Like, I think we thought it was just going to be pop, 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 pop from here to here. Well, no, it doesn't happen. You don't pop, 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 pop with a 43-foot rig.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
you're, so I think we initially thought it would be a lot faster. And then we realized we're not getting to enjoy, like we're moving too much. We love small town America, not just the the arches and things like that, the big bucket list items. We get to a town, and I say Savannah, Illinois, without the H.
Who'd have thought Savannah, Illinois?
We absolutely
Stuck
loved
in my mind
that
as a top
town.
5.
Yeah.
It was a town that they had preserved the main street. We met what they called the mayor, who took us into buildings that he had purchased that weren't even opened yet, and the things that he's going to do with that town. We just absolutely loved that town. There really wasn't a lot to do, but we started to slow down a little bit. So our bucket list kind of fell off we
discovered that small town
because
America
we
is
discovered
enjoyable.
what we might be missing by worrying so much about getting to that bucket list, that we were missing some of the unique things that make humanity what it is. Great.
Tom,
Right.
write this down for a marketing. That give up, go full-time RVing, give up on your dreams.
Yeah.
That's the new.
You think that's the new
strategy?
New
Yeah.
tagline? Okay.
Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome because it is kind of the unexpected
Yes,
things.
it was a
Yes.
transformation.
Yeah, it's those little things that you don't expect that really become the highlight of your trip or your month or even your year.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I guess that being said, are there still some big trips that you guys want to do that you haven't done yet, or have you seen?
Well, we haven't been to Idaho.
Yellowstone.
You
We
have
went out to Yellowstone.
Yellowstone? No, we haven't been to Yellowstone.
Okay,
So
that's a big one.
There's
Yeah.
some things in
Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We right now in our stage where we are, we're so impact team focused and things like that it's kind of hard to write. There's things that we're still trying to check off the list.
Sure.
But I also, like, I want to go back to, I feel like if we were so focused on the bucket list, we would miss out on things, and then we might be disappointed. There's still a few things. I know Idaho, we had talked about Montana,
South Dakota, we haven't been to South Dakota.
South Dakota. Yeah, a lot of those middle ones. But as far as a specific bucket, like the Bourbon Trail was something for
Yes.
you that was a bucket list, and we just got done doing that.
Did it nice.
So yeah, there's a few of those still things out there. We haven't put a timeline on it, which I think is good for us.
Yeah.
I think we quit doing
Mhm.
that because then we were like, oh God, we didn't make it, so now we're never going to get back. We just come, like, the Bourbon Trail kind of just happened
Right.
this year. We really didn't have it planned. It's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yep, we're going from the Tennessee rally to this Michigan rally, and in between there was Louisville. So I said, well, let's stop there. So
yeah,
we
we
booked a
just,
trip there.
we
we had
just,
7 days,
mhm.
enjoyed it.
You know, sometimes when you try to go to a schedule of life, it just sucks out the fun. Sometimes, just kind of just let it happen as it happens.
And then
Yeah.
you get disappointed, and then it just
Yeah.
kind of is a downward spiral. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't get to do that, so now today's ruined. Like, you just
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
kind of let it overtake you, and then I feel like if you don't have a whole lot of expectation, it just gives us, and it affords us a little more flexibility.
But back to the bucket list. I mean,
Yeah.
the Bourbon Trail was a bucket list.
Yeah, Bourbon Trail.
Last year, my bucket list was Tombstone. We made it to Tombstone,
Yeah.
Arizona. That was fascinating.
And Bar Harbor's been
Bar
on the
Harbor,
list, so we're doing that
so we're
this
doing
year.
that-
We
yep.
found
Okay.
some. So,
So after
we-
the New England rally, we're going to Bar Harbor and hang out.
before or after, I can't
I-
remember.
I don't
I don't
know.
even
Let's
know.
check.
but you're
yeah.
gonna go, and that's
We're
the
going.
Yeah, so yeah,
Well,
we do have probably this year a little more things on the
Go.
bucket list. So
Well, let's talk about these rallies because it seems like those are kind of like destination or at least waypoints on this journey
Yes.
for you guys, and you go to several of them. And this week, as of when we're recording this, the Michigan rally is
Mhm.
happening. So
Mhm.
tell us about your involvement in these regional rallies.
Well, we go on average about 14 to 18 a year
mhm.
for the impact team. We started off as influencers for the momentum line,
Mm-hmm.
and then we transferred into the impact team when the impact team was started.
Yeah.
So
Well, and for those who don't know out there, tell us. We've done one podcast on the impact team, but it was a while ago though. So share your role in that and what you do.
So, the the impact team, I guess when you think of a team, you think of like a group of people working together. And that's what we do. Our role is to just kind of promote RV camaraderie amongst the RV community, because I don't know if I had touched on it, but sometimes full-time RVing or just RVing in general is a little different because you're around with so many different people. And that was one expectation I had, was that it would be like our weekend camping trips. And it really wasn't. After like week 2 or 3, some people go to camp to just get away from everybody. Some are there to just party it up for the weekend. Some are there with their kids. And I couldn't really find my role. Because I was still missing the friends at home. So the impact team allows us to make an impact to get together with the owners to impact that community that we're in. We're not just trying to travel from point A to point B. We're really trying to make an impact as Grand Design in that community.
That we rally in. So like, this year, we've been very service oriented. We've hosted 3 blood drives already at the various rallies that we've already been to. We've done some food drives. This in Michigan, we're doing a pet shelter drive along with it's National Law Enforcement Week. So we're providing survival bags to the local Coldwater Police Department with just, snacks and things to get them through their shift. But the team right now is just us 2, along with Danny. But we feel like the owners are also part of the team to be impactful where they go, not just go from point A to point B, visit the touristy spot, and then be done. It's to really make an impact on that community. And have the owners come help. And then we are there to help those owners kind of navigate, what people who are just going full time or who are just out 3 months out of the year.
Their first rally goer.
It's different.
Like I said, I said to you earlier, why would anybody do this? And sometimes it's that one thing we might say to somebody or do from that community, like, I really enjoy doing this. They might have found that, hey, I could do this. Not just when I'm RVing. I can go back if I have a sticks and bricks and I can get involved in my community there. That's really our goal, is to just, and we're all with the support of Grand Design, helping us, promoting us out there, providing the materials or the things, the vests to do a highway cleanup. We've already got something for next year at Texas because we were on the beach to do a beach cleanup. Just those things that don't involve a lot of money for people, but just their time into the community, because you have to invest it back. You guys know you have to give back.
Right.
And this is our way of helping the owners have a good time, meet friends, and then giving back at the same time. So we're just trying to be super, mindful and impactful of where we are. So,
and it's all kind of centered around these rallies that take place.
And we all, like-minded, because we're all Grand Design owners. We all have a commonality of our products and what floor plan do you have, and do you have a toy hauler? It's really weird, the conversations that happen amongst RVers. Like the things that we talk about, the black tanks and the it's different. And I think that if we can capitalize on that, we're all together here for to just enjoy each other. And at the same time can make an impact where we are.
Yeah, we have a seminar at all the rallies we go to. We talk about our life and talk about all of our lessons learned, anything we can put out there, all the apps we use.
It's an open book. It's pretty much an open book.
So we're there for people to ask questions, maybe get some assistance along their way to figure things out. So we're just here to be a soundboard for.
Yeah, and then to take things back to Grand, because we're an extension of Grand Design, to say, hey, listen, we're getting a lot of feedback from owners at rallies that might say this or might say that. Like we had a couple conversations off the mic, of like, how do we explain something to somebody? So it's nice. I think people they just want to talk, and they just want to feel heard and seen, and hey, is this normal? I don't know. I don't enjoy full timing. Like I said,
it's cool being a familiar face to the people that attend the rallies too.
Yeah.
So, hey,
we had a lady tell us at Tennessee, and when I did our seminar, we talked about, who was full time, and then the next question was who doesn't like it, and I had a few people that just were like, this is more work than we thought, or this is not, I miss my family more than I thought, or I can't live with my husband in a, 420 square foot, his breathing gets on my nerves at night. But I think just
just hitting close to home, Tom.
Yes, so
the truth comes out.
The truth comes out.
That's why I like the $395 with the outdoor TV. I sit outside and watch
there you go.
Yeah.
You breathe all you want out there.
You can breathe all you want, chew all you want.
Chew, yeah.
Chew, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Throw your peanut shells all you want. Stay out there. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's our role. So Nationals coming up, and we're hosting a big blood drive there. We're doing a food rescue with Cultivate there, which is, you guys know, is the local food rescue place. So yeah, we really are just trying to not just go from point A to point B. Enjoy the touristy things. We want to really make an impact in that community that we're in, and then give people the tools and the confidence to do it when they go back. Hey, I can do this at home. I don't need to be.
It's pretty cool to see Grand Design owners having their own little meetups now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's do it. Let's all get to, there's 5 or 6 of us. Let's get together and let's do something at the local food shelter or the pet shelter,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that commonality of we're GDRV for life. Everybody's like got this pumped up.
Life is grand.
Life is
That's
grand.
awesome.
Yeah.
Tom, this brings up another point I want to make. Word of the day today.
No.
Okay.
Another one.
Another word.
Yes.
Another word of the misophonia. Have you heard about this?
Misophonia sounds vaguely familiar.
It's basically where you have a certain sensitivity to certain sounds like breathing or chewing.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
And the reason I know that sounds familiar is because I looked that word up, and I actually do have some things that I suffer from that condition.
Yeah. Like my wife, we have to have music during dinner because she can't stand the sound of me and the children eating. Just normal eating,
I'm kind of in
things
that
like that.
group too.
Yeah.
Sad
So
to
that's
admit.
a thing. Apparently, amongst the full-time community, that's a thing as well.
It's funny you say that, because we were at dinner with a couple friends, I don't know, last year, and they were close friends, and one of them raked her teeth on her fork every time she ate. And finally I said, stop it. You have to stop. I couldn't keep it in any longer.
That makes my teeth hurt just thinking
I'm like,
about
please
that.
stop. She's like, what? I'm like, put your lips over your teeth. But
That's so funny.
That is the thing, I guess. Thankfully he has a CPAP, so I don't have to hear him breathing too much. It's nice. But I know I do things that annoy him as well.
No, not at all. No, never.
But I didn't know there was a real
Smart
word
man.
for that.
Yeah. Smart man.
I need a T-shirt now. We got the smushed up words, and now
the portmanteaus from last time, and now the misophonia. What is that? I mean, maybe we have a word of the week every week now.
I think
Tom.
you
we should start doing that.
Yeah, I mean, just teaching. What's funny is in the back of Grand Design Owners Manuals, not everyone knows this, but there's a glossary. Looks like you know about this.
Yes.
In the back, there's a glossary of common terms, and some of them, black tank, it'll tell you what it is,
Right.
But then there's some back there that, like the honey wagon, for example,
Yes.
that you might not know. And if you're a first timer out there, you might need to know if someone knocks on your door and says, "Hey, do you need the honey wagon?" You might want to know what that means before you call the cops.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But and I'm just going to leave it at that, and they're going to have to look that up.
Yeah. Right.
But
no telling.
right. But no, this is fantastic. We appreciate you guys spending the time with us, and we really appreciate the work that you do out there.
Yep.
And it sounds like the Impact team is really is making an impact. And one of the things that I really appreciate about Grand Design, and whether it be the marketing or the sales or what have you, or the training, because I do the training for the dealerships in large part, is we try to be as genuine and transparent as possible.
Yep.
And you've been very genuine and transparent. You haven't made full timing sound like it's all butterflies and roses, because it's not.
No.
It's not. But it does have, and just like anything, there's work, there's risk, and there's reward, right? And it sounds like you guys are absolutely killing it when it comes to reaping the rewards of that lifestyle and doing, this is a great like American retirement story, because you're really not retired, are you? I mean, you're still doing the work.
Yeah, we're still doing the work. And that's when you said that is probably one of the biggest compliments that we get from people. And they're like, you're exactly the same when you do your YouTube videos or your Facebook that you are when we meet you. Like we're very transparent. You know, you're not going to see me any differently. I might have some more makeup on some days more than others, but for the most part, we tell you like it is. I think because you have to be honest with people.
That's cool. Yeah. When people say that I'm living vicariously through you,
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a
nice.
great.
So
I mean, it's a huge. I mean, what's your following right now on social media? I saw Facebook was 115,000.
115,000.
Yeah.
I think on YouTube. YouTube's a lot of work. 18,000.
Yeah.
TikTok's 20,000.
And Insta's like 6,500. I'm Michael. I think because I go backwards a little bit because I did IT for so long at the school district. When I retired, I was like, I don't want to do IT. So he really does. He is the man behind the scenes, and he comes up with the ideas. And I'm like, he's like, I need to do a video. I'm like, I don't want to do a video today, but he always has great ideas. So yeah, it's really his.
Here's your Campoholic tip of the day.
Here's your Campoholic tip of the day kind of thing, you know. So it is his brainchild, I guess, that's done it. And he loves it. He gets up a little bit before I do in the morning. I'm not okay. He's doing his work, and then I get up, and then it's time to start the day. But we've got a good balance of enjoying our retired life, but still providing useful content to people and being a productive member of society at the same time.
Yes, productive.
And I think Grand Design has afforded us that with the quality of workmanship that we have. I mean, we've been our rig is 6 years old. So we've been able to travel this, and enjoy it with our big old windows and enjoying the view and backing that toy hauler up. So yeah, we've been very fortunate, very fortunate.
Well, let's end with this. I want to know three little nuggets. You told us about Savannah, Illinois without the H. So that's one. Mm-hmm. Give us two more places, because everyone's heard of Bar Harbor, Moab, things like that. Mm-hmm. Give us some hidden gems out there. Two more and a little brief story behind each one in case someone wants to follow in your footsteps here.
Pioneer Village in Nebraska was a stop. We did it. We only stopped there as an overnight stop, which was unfortunate. But Pioneer Village in Minden, Nebraska. This gentleman I think he invented polyethylene or plastic or something like that. And he opened up his own museum, and it blows the Smithsonian away.
Oh, yeah?
It's like almost half a block.
Yes, Medina, Nebraska, I think it is.
Medina, yeah, I think you're right.
And that was a fascinating stop. I really enjoyed that. So that stop. And
Savannah, Illinois was another one.
Yep. We were way out there in another Nebraska stop, Republican City, Nebraska.
Republican City. There wasn't really anything there. That's not a bucket list.
No,
sure.
No, it's not a bucket list. But again, there's small town America.
I enjoyed Waco. I know Waco is
cool, yeah.
There's a lot of history in Waco. We were really surprised. Of course, I was the whole, Joanna Gaines and Chip Gaines. I got a little bit starstruck. But there was a lot more to do there than I had anticipated as far as what the history goes. Key West, I will say, we stayed 2 weeks at Curry Hammock State Park, and just the water, and it was absolutely beautiful. Walking and riding your bike everywhere, and the little quirky locals, things that we found to do.
My favorite national park has been Crater Lake.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Crater Lake was beautiful.
In Oregon?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Oregon.
Yeah,
nice.
Crater Lake was beautiful.
That was the water is the most beautiful blue water I've ever seen in my life. It almost brought tears to my eyes when we walked up. When you're walking up to the crater, the walkway that leads up to the crater, and you can see it just open up, and the vastness
Pictures
of that.
Just don't do it justice.
Yes,
it's just amazing. But no, you got to remember, we're coming from Delaware, with 3 counties, we're very small. You can drive the state length to length in an hour and a half, and then width to 35 minutes. So anything for us is
majestic,
just majestic. But no, yeah, I enjoy
Majestic, Indiana. For example.
enjoy Elkhart.
Yeah.
Listen, I enjoy downtown Elkhart. I mean, just hanging out, it's just and getting to see the architecture.
We do a lot of Harvest Host locations also.
So we really just try to take advantage of every place that we are. Of course, we've come across some, but you don't know till you try. I mean, that's it. We don't know. So, but yeah, Key West for me, Waco. in Thompson or Savannah, Illinois. It was Thompson Camp was the name of the camp. I keep saying that. But yeah,
Thompson
I don't
without
know.
the P.
With a P. Okay.
Without the P.
Without the P.
Thompson without the P.
Savannah without the H. Thompson without the P.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Well, this has been great, guys. Thank you so much for stopping.
Right,
and I mean, it's so good to have you guys here and give the firsthand account of really the whole journey in the past. Depending on where you 5 years or so.
Yeah.
So it's been incredible, and we appreciate what you do, and we wish you all the best of luck here at the Mission Rally, and it's been good. I mean, is there anything else you guys want to say to the people out there, like the 3 people that listen to this?
Follow the Campoholics.
Yeah, follow. So it's Campoholics, CAMP.
Yes, just like alcohol.
Yes,
Unfortunately.
So on your preferred social media platform out there, and thank you guys so much.
Yes,
and
thank you.
Tom, is there anything you want?
Time to go.
It is time to go. That is their CA rep, Campoholics Anonymous rep. They're still on step 1. They have not yet admitted.
We're not admitted. We have a problem.
They need you
have
back.
a problem with
They need you
camping.
back.
So we better get out of here.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
All right. Thank you.
Take care.
Till next time.